Oh, hello there. Wizard Ray here. I just saw Mr. Ray enter the workshop and he was looking for you. Head on up there. He'll meet you there. Hey, what are you doing up here? Didn't you, weren't you just down there with Wizard Ray? Go back to Wizard Ray. Oh, hey, I've been looking for you. Not you. You go.
Harley, come back. Where'd you go?
This dog. Come on up here. I got something to show you. I'm working on a project that I think you're going to like. So I've decided that I want to work on a project today, and I'm going to make a caricature or a creature that you might recognize from a video game. And I'm going to make it out of cardboard. Check this out. I think you're going to like it.
Now I'm starting with a ball and I'm covering it with some tape, and I'm cutting that tape off the ball so that I can make the flat cardboard into a round shape by gluing those edges together. Now you'll see that I'm moving pretty fast here. This is called time lapse. Basically it's a picture taking about every 2 seconds, and it's played back at 25 pictures per second. You see I'm jumping between pieces as the glue dries. I've got a dome from the ball pattern and an oval that also I've cut little wedges out of. Those are called darts. Those allow me to curve the cardboard when those dart edges are glued together. And I'm also working on a box for the back of the character. Now here I'm making a roll of cardboard. This roll of cardboard I will not end up using. They were going to be legs, but I later realized that they are much too small for what I actually needed. Now you'll notice that I'm using some clothespins. If you are going to use clothespins to glue stuff together, be sure not to put them in the glue because you're going to glue your clothespins to your project. After tidying up my workspace just a little bit, I apply a layer of glue to help shape and stiffen the dome piece, and I also add a layer of paper to help reinforce that shape. Now I used a paper tube to form the main core of this character. It's not actually as large as I had thought, so I am making it bigger with a second tube. Now if you're going to attempt to make one of these, I challenge you to use only 2 paper tubes. Now, looking back at the build that I did, I think it would have been a much easier build, and it would have actually gotten the shape, a much more correct shape than what I actually ended up doing here. Now the first test fit shows me that the core is still too small, so I remake the core, and well, making is remaking. Now I need some support inside of this character, so if you ever need stronger cardboard, do this. You'll see that the lines on the cardboard, those are going in the direction of the corrugation. Glue them going in opposite directions. This will give you a lot more strength. This is also how plywood is made, and how plywood gets its strength. Now I realized that the legs were too skinny, so this is those tubes, that skinny tube is me starting over. Gluing the core together and placing those supports inside. Now in a moment you're going to see me realize that the dome that I made is also the wrong size and shape. So I am now improvising, trying to figure out how to get the shape that I wanted. My reference image is off screen. So what I did was I decided to glue some thicker paper to the core of the character, and then I tore parts of the paper so that I could curve them and overlap them and make them the shape that I wanted by gluing them together and to the dome. Now that metal thing that I'm using there is just a stick. You could use a popsicle stick or a pencil or an old pen, whatever works for you, or you could even use your finger. Now I'm about to cut out the legs here. I'm going to cut the legs and a way to attach them. After cutting them apart, I'm cutting out a flange to give them something to glue onto the base plate. Now the flanges, they went over the edge, so I folded those over and just glued them to the back. As I'm going to show you here. Now, they were pretty close together. Those legs were pretty close together, so I did remove the ones in the center, the ones that would overlap. Now I'm starting to assemble the whole thing. I grab my hot glue pen and reinforce the inside of the top. Attaching the visor. And attaching the backpack. And the legs. You'll notice me testing it several times to make sure that he can stand upright. And now it's complete, a crew member from the game Among Us. You'll notice that I decide to paint only half of it because I wanted to leave some inspiration for later. Thanks for watching, friends.